Hey champions, I hope you're all fantastic. On today's installment of 5-Minute Tones, I want to show you some secret sauce lurking in the Axe-Fx cab block. Before we do that, I've got my Les Paul plugged straight into the Axe-Fx 3. I'm on firmware 18. I've got the AC20 EF86 treble dialed up with my go-to cab IR LT TV Mix 7, and it sounds like this. So just a kind of gritty, chimey, Vox style thing right there. It's not too important. You can do this with any amp and cab combo you like, because we're here to talk about the preamp type and preamp mode in here, specifically the tape types in there. On firmware 18, they have been upgraded and improved, and I just want to show you how I kind of like to use them, and more importantly, what they sound like. So you can select between a bunch of different microphone preamps in here. The idea being that, you know, what we're emulating here in the amp block is a guitar amplifier, and in the cab block, it's actually emulating a close mic'd speaker in a guitar speaker cabinet. Now, of course, in the real world, when you mic a speaker cabinet, you plug it into a microphone pre, and the microphone preamp a lot of the time has some very non-linear characteristics which are really, really desirable, and chances are that some of your favorite guitar tones feature microphone preamp distortion and also tape saturation. In general, like, tape saturation is audio secret sauce. So I have created another channel in the cab block where I've just turned the preamp type on to this tape type. There's 3 different tape types with different EQ time constants in there, indicated by the different numbers here. Preamp mode, high quality, bit of drive, bit of saturation. Let's just hear the difference real quick. It is just kind of smoothing out some excess high end, and the way I think about saturation is a cooking analogy. You know, I'm full of cooking analogies right here. To me, it's like the difference between, you know, a piece of food that is cooked or a piece of food that is cooked but it's starting to caramelize on the top. Just a little bit of browning on there. You got some magic happening, and the drive and saturation here are playing that particular role. You'll notice though, as you turn the saturation and the drive up, that the level goes down. So I've just compensated with the level control over here, and you can really slam this to get some kind of cool vintage tones. You know, turn the drive up past 5. It's got that nasty thing going on, but in general, I like the drive around 3 or 4 and the saturation around 6 or 7. Now, a really cool aspect of this is the cab block is stereo. So one thing you could do is say, I don't know, let's take the good old Atomica High, and let's say you've got an existing preset where you've got this, and in the cab block, maybe you chose the transformer preamp type, which I really like with higher gain sound. And let's say, you know, we've got some stereo delay on there, maybe some detunes. So I've got Grease at the moment. Big stereo thing, and let's just say this is the way I loaded the preset, but I want some tape saturation on there. What I'm going to do is, right at the end of the chain, I'm going to bring up a second cab block, and let's actually put it right at the end of the chain in case I wanted to add a reverb or anything else. And let's do this. Let's set the input mode to stereo. I've set the IRs to be factory to 1024, which is a totally flat impulse response. So we're just going to be using the preamp tab here. Pretty cool little trick. Let's pan them hard left and hard right to maintain the stereo image. And then I've got those tape saturation settings in there. I've had to crank the level up quite a bit on this one to get it at unity, but have a listen to the difference. It's just adding character in there, and I talk about character all the time. It is really tempting in an environment like the Axe effects to keep everything kind of pristine and clean, and it is so good at that, but it is also so good at bringing the gank and the grunge and all the kind of desirable stuff in there. So what I'll do is I'll play you all out with this sound. I'll just swap between the 35, 50, and 70 tape types on there, and you can hear they get slightly more kind of crunchy and distorted. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do a full video with firmware 18 very, very soon. Take it easy.